Okay, how to sharpen a chisel the easy way. So the first thing is obviously using a grinder. So basically we're cutting a slight round in the chisel. The main thing here is to try to use the bevel that you've already got on your chisel and try to line your new bevel up with pretty much the same angle so that you don't have to take too much. If you've got a very different angle, then you need to be very patient and slow about what you're doing. If you've got a better grinder than this is just a cheap grinder, then you won't have to use the water as much, but in my case I have to keep dunking it in water. But there are good grinders out there now that don't require that, don't really get hot. But yeah, it's just a matter of keeping on grinding until the grind works its way all the way to the pointy end of the chisel. And you need to try to hold it the same way all the time. This can be done with really rough sandpaper. You don't need to put the round in it. The only reason we're putting the round in it is because of that's just the shape of the grinding wheel. So yeah, that's why is there such a big gap now? Oh, there he is, he's back again. He's just giving it a little bit more of a grind for some reason. But the whole point, the main thing to remember is that you're just trying to get it to ground slowly up until it touches the leading edge or the pointy end of the chisel. This is just a cheap chisel and a dirty one, and it's got glue on it and all sorts of stuff. The easy way really is about getting it up to speed, getting it up to a good quality quickly and easily. It's not the absolute sharpest you can get them, but it certainly works for pretty much anything you'd ever want to do, unless you are a fine woodworker, full-time fine woodworker. But this is pretty good even for a fine woodworker. So what I've done is, right here, the first thing I need to do is flatten the back edge of my chisel. Now, the way to do that, in this case, the way I'm doing it is, I don't really want to rub it completely flat on my, this is just sandpaper glued to a bit of boards, rough to smooth, rough on the left, smooth on the right, your right that is. Now I'm just putting 3 layers of tape on the side so that when I grind the back, of the chisel, I don't have to grind the whole back, only a tiny bit the leading edge. You'll see in a second. So this is just trying to flatten the back, but I'm actually putting a micro bevel on the chisel. It's hardly anything, but it's enough so that it only takes me a few swipes of the blade, and you'll see when I put it up to the camera here that's on the rough sandpaper, but it only takes a few swipes to get it so that that's right, it's all the way up to the leading edge. It's a very tiny bevel, but it's almost equivalent to flat. So now, if I wanted to flatten that whole back, it might have taken me 10 or 15 minutes and some sore arms to do it, whereas this just takes a few swipes. So now I'm continuing on. What I'm doing is I'm buffing, I'm basically making that back as smooth as I possibly can. So I'm now on medium sandpaper, just a few runs. It's getting smoother and smoother. Now I'm on fine sandpaper. Still trying to hold it at about the same angle. So I'm using all of my 100mm wide board here. I want to use that all. Now this is the ultra fine, the final one. I think that's 1000 grit or 1200 grit. There's no need to go anywhere near any above that, but you don't even need to go to 1200. 600 would be fine, 500. Even 400 would be fine. So now that's it. The back is now shiny and smooth. So that's ready to take a sharp edge. The smoother that is, the bit more a sharp edge it can handle. This part's, it's very hard for me to tell you how to do this, but the angle that I'm holding the chisel, now that I'm actually sharpening up the bevel, I'm trying to hold it at pretty close to the same angle that the bevel is, except as I get down, probably now, I'm going to start lifting up by 1 or 2 degrees, or some small amount above, so that so that I'm smoothing and sharpening just the leading edge of the chisel, but not the back edge of the bevel. But you know, it's only a tiny amount, and it's not the end of the world. If you happen to be sharpening both at the same time, or smoothing both at the same time, that's fine too. But the key is to lift it up a little bit so that all of your effort goes straight into the leading edge. Now I've got a burr on the back that I'm trying to pull it off slowly by dragging the flat part of the chisel on the fine sandpaper. But I'd forgotten that I was using this new method of making a micro bevel on the back, so I couldn't get the burr off this way. And then I realised, yes, I've got to do it this way now that I'm flattening the back that way. Anyway, that's pretty much a sharp chisel now. It's just a matter of taking that tiny bit of burr off. It comes off anyway once you start chiseling. But that's all good, and that's sharp. You can use that for anything you want to do. You can get sharper, and maybe we'll do a video one day to get it ultra sharp. But notice there's no water, no lubricant, no anything, just sandpaper glued onto flat boards of MDF. That's hardwood I'm cutting there. Please don't put your hand in front of the chisel. I've got mine behind the chisel there. But overall, that's the way to do it. See you next time.